Okay. Maybe you'll be able to hear me now. Let me see. Okay. Maybe you'll be able to hear me now. Let me see. Yay! The sound works. Yes! Okay. It's just one of those mornings, I tell you. Just one of those mornings. I've finally gotten a desktop computer because my laptop was just not as shiny as I'd like, for streaming and all that good stuff. So how are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a good day. Excuse me. So I have a couple things that I'll be working on today. I have my Victorian tale that I need to edit. And that's what I'm mainly working on today. I really need to do a video so that you guys know, like, the catch up of what's going on. I haven't even done it on TikTok, honestly. I've given hints here and there, but it was one of those things where, I really need to do a video so that you guys know, like, the catch up. Just double checking TikTok. Or not TikTok. Twitch. I kind of got a burnout a little bit, as you do after NaNoWriMo. I did not, it wasn't so much that, it wasn't so much that it's one of those days, I swear. Okay, good. My sound's working on all the fronts. No more touchy. I will not continue to touch things. It's just been one of those times, like right after you do any sort of big event, I feel like you can get burnout. So here's the down low. Everyone who's been following me on my other streams knows that my main project is Villainous from the Stars. It's on Kindle Vella. Currently there is 11 live episodes. First 3 are free. And basically I was going to do the side project where it was a previous NaNoWriMo project, National Novel Writing Project, that I had finished that following summer. And this was like several years ago. And I called it a Victorian tale. I don't really have a better title yet because I don't think a Victorian tale is really a publishable title. But it was as is. And I thought it was horrible, as one does, first drafts. But then going over it to just do minor edits before I made a personal print copy for myself. No sale, just like through Barnes & Noble personal press. Just something for me so I could be like proud of like completing a book. And then I told my family, which was kind of a mistake. And my mom's like, yes, I want one. And I told like one other friend and she's like, I want a signature. So I was like, well, then I got nervous because then, other people would have the book and I was worried that somehow it would end up in like somewhere and it wouldn't be like a printed copy. You know what I mean? Like a published copy, not a printed copy. It would be a printed copy, but it wouldn't be published. And so I was reading through it, and then I'm like, you know what? This is actually pretty good. And I was like, why? My problem was every time I tried to rewrite it, I was like rewriting it from the studs. And that was a mistake because it was actually pretty good. And so I can't remember the TikToker. If I remember at the end of the stream, I will update it at the bottom of the doobly-doo. But they said, write the next book. And they're like, no one's first book usually like jumps off from the start. But if you have a book that's completed, put it out there, put it into the world, especially if you're a self-publisher, because you need to just jump in both feet in. And I'm not a perfectionist, but I definitely think I have perfectionist like qualities. And so that was nerve-wracking, that idea for me. But then when I've been reading over Victorian Tale, I'm like, this is actually pretty good. And it just needs some editing. Like, I'm doing very simple line edits right now, which was just for the printed copy. But now I realize if I'm going to publish it, I'm going to have actually my beta readers be sicked on it. That's a weird word. I'm not going to use that word again, that phrase. But anyways, and so so the rest is history. So Victorian Tale will be a self-published novel that I will be working on, because initially I was just doing like just for me formatting, like with clip art and stuff, so it wasn't really like something I could publish. But now I'm gonna go full-blown possible map landscapes, pictures, stuff. So that's I think the idea of self-publishing this book suddenly just like put all the pressure that I didn't put on myself when I was first editing it. And so now I'm just trying not to still overpressure myself. And I still have no clue what I'm going to call it, because it's still called A Victorian Tale, and I have no clue what I'm going to call it. Initially, it was going to be part of a series called The Puppet Masters of Time. But I think it would be better just have it as a standalone. It kind of has a little bit of a cliffhanger at the end, but I don't think it's a huge one, because I've already kind of I don't know. My friends wanted a sequel, but when I tried to write a sequel, that's when I had hit problems. So I think I'm going to just have it as a standalone that's part of the universal world that all my books under Celestia Sharp are under. That's the plan. So yeah. I'm just doing very obvious edits. Like, I think I've explained before when I was editing that there was like name inconsistencies and stuff. So that's just stuff I'm doing right now. But I do plan on possibly doing, and the meet my characters in my stream, everyone should know that it's by now that it's part of my Villainous from the Stars, not Victorian Tale. These are the characters from Victorian Tale. Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna dive in today, and I will put the Spotify on, and thankfully I can't hear it, but you guys can. I wish classical was what's it called? Copyright free, but I don't know for sure that it is. If there's any songs that annoy you, just tell me and I will skip them for you. But here I put it on medium, so it shouldn't be too bad. Um, and we'll dive in. I have 2 screens now, so I don't have to have like all my stuff right on the main screen, which is like, yay! That's what I was looking forward to. Just wanted to let everyone know, because that was something I was super excited about having if I ever got a desktop. Of course, it does mean that I'm not looking at the camera as much, because I have like the new camera I have is propped up onto one of my screens, and then I have another screen here. So that's like less of me looking straight at you guys and more me looking at screens. But it's for productivity, so you know, it works. Go ahead and put my mic on mute, and you'll just have the lovely music while I work. And it is 11 a.m. now, so I'm not gonna have we're not gonna do word sprint today. We're just gonna do productivity. And if you're working, I've had viewers that are game designers. I've had viewers that are writers like me that are plotting. Just let us know in the comments, like, what are you working on? I'm always curious about that. So just let me know. I like finding out, especially since I want this to be something, a platform that can help people be productive. So if I'm helping you be productive, I'd love to know. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, quick thing. This is like an exercise shirt, and then this is my favorite corset that everyone by now is probably, if you've seen me stream a couple times, has seen me wear. And I just was like, I want to wear this, but I also want to wear this. So I put it together, and I was like, isn't this kind of like Ranger Corps? Like, I was telling my husband, I was like, if I put a bracer here and I had like, you know, full-blown bow, wouldn't that be Ranger Corps? Like, it's like casual Ranger Corps, and I love it. So, anyways, that's just what I'm throwing in there. And we will jump in working today. And I've got my coffee, so we'll dive in. Let's work. So I think I've finished as much of the base edits as I can to Victorian Tale. So what I was just doing was contacting my normal beta readers and being like, who wants to read this and give me feedback? And then I contacted my side beta readers that are kind of hit and miss, and I'm like, who wants to read this? And then I contacted my mom because she was really excited getting her own like personal copy, and I'm all like, I decided not to do the personal copies, I'm deciding to self-publish it, so you know, do you want to read it still and giving me feedback? So that's what I just did. And my mom's the sort of person that if she likes it, she'll tell me, but she'll also tell me like, this is weird, so you know. But I am also I have a friend that is a content writer / copywriter / editor, and I'm going to see if she's available, and I'll pay her to edit it out, like actual line edits for grammar and that kind of thing. Because I do think I'm getting my brother's doing a pretty cool cover for it, but I think I need to pay, I mean, my brother's getting credit and everything, don't get me wrong, but I think I need to pay for a line editor because I just don't want, you know, that feeling when you go through a book and then you see something you should have edited. I just don't want that to happen, and it might still happen, but the person I know is pretty good at, I mean, she was like an English major, so we'll see how it goes. That's the plan, is doing that. I am waiting for feedback from my beta readers for the next 2 chapters of Villainous from the Stars, and they are kind of poignant to later on, so I'm in that weird in-between phase where I could edit the next chapters, but it's kind of like at a weird stopping point because one of the chapters is like, I don't know if this is needed, so please tell me, you know. So I'm trying to wait to hear back from them, but they've been really busy. I'm trying to think of how to get more beta readers for Villainous from the Stars. I can't post it on things like Wattpad because Villainous from the Stars is on Kindle Vella, and Kindle Vella doesn't allow posting of it on free for somewhere else. So I would need to get beta readers that I trust. It's a bit of a pain, I tell you. And then also people that kind of like cozy fantasy. So it's kind of like a hard genre to... I'd like to get fellow Spoonies, Chronic Illness Warriors, to read it and see how they're doing with brain fog while reading it, because that was the whole point of writing this novel, was having something that's fantasy driven or in a sci-fi fantasy world, but you discover the world through the characters so that it's not like an overload, and then also that there's not situations that give you like constant anxiety, because I've noticed for myself personally is I don't even get into a book if I feel like it's gonna give me anxiety. Like, I'll look at some of the like really popular YA / books, and I'm just like, you know, Fey Courts and stuff, and I'm just like, a lot of these situations I think would give me a severe anxiety even to read it. And so I'm just like, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna go there. I mean, they might be amazing writing, but I just... The things of being hypersensitive is that you soak in all emotions, and then, yeah, you sense more even while you're reading. So, I need to take care of myself. So, I want to write something that would be exciting in the sense of getting to know a new world, and have mystery about the world, and have discovery, and then still have like a character-driven story. So that's what Villainous from the Stars is all about. But there's kind of this weird in-between is where you're waiting for the beta readers to get through it. And I could just post them as they are, but it's like, even with fan fiction, when I read it over, I'll miss things. And I just know I'd miss things. And then I'd read it later and be like, why did I post that when I could have waited? So, okay, this weird inventory now. I'm thinking of working on... And then I had my husband, who had already edited something, edit again after it's already been posted. And I'm just like, I can fix it in, it just takes more. And I'm like, you didn't edit what, after all this time of me trying to ask you to edit something, and then you edit the wrong one, even though I told you which one to edit. Deep breaths. Deep breaths, I tell you. See, he hasn't betaed any what I need him to beta. He baited the last chapter, which was thankfully, but he had previously. So, I really need 12 and 13 beta. Oh yeah, I got something back. So my mom's on board about editing. I kinda want to work on the castle in Sims. But I don't know if my people on here are gonna be like, sure, go for that. Or if you're gonna be like, what are you doing? This is not a gaming thing. Even though I would be making something for my story. Anyways, I'm trying to think of what to do next. Excuse me. I'm nearly done with my coffee too. Oh, look at. My thing is RPG themed, so it's even more like Ranger Corps than normal. It was totally unintentional. I didn't even realize this was on the mug. I thought I had my totally awkward mug. It's like, or it's something, it's got a llama with wings and a unicorn horn. Because that's how I roll. That weird in-between time. I hate that weird in-between time. Trying to think of what to do. Oh my goodness, I just realized they're already late for December for posting. December has been a weird month. Like, I felt like December has suddenly been here and I didn't even realize it. Ah, they're so late. Should I just edit them and then post them? I mean, I've already edited them, and then I sent them to my beta readers to, like, look over it, so, like, is there anything that I missed, kind of? Ah, that annoys me. Sorry for the weird noises. Sometimes when I read it out loud, I can catch something without annoying everyone. I hope not. When Raven followed Lady Vienna into the kitchen, he didn't even look back at the room they had passed. He was far too used to empty dining rooms and waiting. The young girl had seemed surprised that he was willing to be seen in the humble kitchen, but she was quick to kneel before the cold hearth and start a small fire. As the warmth began to permeate the room, he felt her gaze upon his pale hands, still grasping his gloves tightly. She gestured to the bench in front of the blaze. "This is the warmest seat, Your Highness." He nodded his thanks, pulling the bench out to sit, his long legs having enough room beneath the large wooden table. "You may address me by my name, Lady Vienna." She seemed to freeze on the other side of the table as she laid out utensils beside him. She started moving again after she let out a breath. "Raven, you may drop the formalities with me as well." A breath he didn't know he was holding fast in a rush from his lips. Raven reminded himself to smile. She wasn't looking though, her focus on setting the table before him. Raven's gaze wandered around the room. Herbs hung drying. Shelves carried flowering pots with bright blossoms of violet, delicate pinks, and greens. Some yellows framed the room, lifting darkness. Causing Even though I like that sentence, I can take it out. Fingertips tingled as the feeling came back into them. Movement to his side showed Lady Vienna sitting on the big kettle above the fire to warm. "Don't you have someone to do that for you?" His lips twitched as he saw her give a slight bite, laying some biscuits. As she finished, her hands dropped to her apron. He watched them tighten, and his lips became a thin line as he saw how they shook. Raven's heart tightened, and he swallowed before turning to face the table, his hands clenching his lap. Her voice was soft and lilting. "We only have Essie. She recently had 2 little ones, so she doesn't come as often. She taught me how to care for myself and the basics of Is your shadow knight available for tea and biscuits? Robin stood and walked to her side. I would call her in, but I doubt she'd agree. At the sound of his voice, a small music squeak was heard by his side, as the girl startled before she quickly moved. The tea and hot whistle. And beef. She scurried to grab it. He watched guilt running through his veins. You were scared of me then, too. I suppose it hasn't changed. His voice had become a whisper. He waited for her to leave the hearth and set the food down on the other side. Some of this isn't needed. Set the food down. And set the food down. His black boots clicked against the cobblestone of the kitchen floor before he set his hands on the table to lean forward. And moved forward. To try to catch a look of her eyes. My clicks clicked against the cobblestone of the kitchen floor before he set his hands and leaned forward. His hand dipped low to catch the look of her eyes. Why are you so afraid of me? I promise I will never hurt you again. The girl gazed at him before looking back down and sitting across from him. For a short time, she shifted in her seat across from as she shook her head. A small and self-deprecating laugh came from beneath her breath. It doesn't take much to change a person. Robin knew this to be true. In only a few brief moments, everything had changed for him when he first met this Vietnam. Okay. I think I am going to try to upload this, which is terrifying because I haven't had my betas look at it, but reading it out loud helped a lot. So it's already kind of late, and I hate not being late for upload 2 months in a row. That's just not good. So we're going to copy this, and then we're going to go to here, and we're going to go to Kindle Vella, and we're going to create a new episode. And what was the name of this one? Warmth. And then Warmth and Robin Basilius point of view, part 1. Basilius point of view, part 2. There's usually a Grammarly, but it's not showing up. Why? Oh, there it is. It's like, what's going on? Well, I guess I have to go to Grammarly. Always check your downloads with VirusTotal. Which one of my peoples? nerve-wracking to do it before beta readers, but they're really late. So, gotta do what a girl's got to do, what a girl's got to do. If anyone knows a reference, what that reference is to, then cookie points for me. Alright, let's read 13. The next time Raven found himself back at the Thorn Estate was... The next time Raven was at the Thorn Estate, he found himself walking the grounds searching for Vina. As he reached the forest surrounding the estate, the object of his quest dropped in front of him, causing him to jump back. Raven found himself blinking at her sudden appearance. His hand lifted on instinct to stop the knight from drawing her sword. Viviana stood strong, her head tilted high, with her long brown hair swinging behind her. Her hands held a staff that took this before her. Viviana's round eyes stared at him for a moment, as if she had to remember who he was. Oh, it's you. Her eyes drifted to Knight by his side, and she moved carefully to place her staff against a nearby tree. This part, the first part was better, but the second part I feel like is like I don't know, it's just not as flowy as I'd like. And that is why I need beta readers to help me, but they're all so busy, so one's got to do what one's got to do, right? When he looked back at Vienna, he caught her curious gaze. A wry look passed through his features. He gestured towards the worn path through the forest back to the sea. Worn path back to the sea. As I've told you before, I wrote you letters of apology for many months after the event that occurred when I was 8 and you 4. I looked down at the He looked down at the path's dust coating his boots. After no success, I approached your father when he came to court. His gaze went fuzzy as his thoughts became full. He had been so scared and confused back then. One moment he'd been a young prince of barely 8, and then suddenly he had a whole life of memories filling his mind. The fear was overwhelming as he began to second-guess everything and everyone around him, hiding within his rooms, curled beneath his blankets, hands clutching his ears and his eyes closed tight as if he could block out the thoughts that assailed him. His parents had come at the week's end, checking their worry shone by the wrinkles across their foreheads and pursed had carefully unwrapped him from his blankets, and they sat beside him, neither asking what was the matter, merely staying by his side. His mother occasionally stroked his hair, and his father patted his back. It was so different from what the memories plagued him with, of a king and queen who seemed accommodating but distant. The other had not been grateful for everything that was given him, but instead had grown spoiled and entitled. He took for granted the unconditional care of his parents and the kindness shown by his friend Vienna Thorn. Your Highness, Raven blinked, his mind clearing sluggishly. Raven, are you all right? His gaze came up and met the face of the Vienna Thorn that stood before him in the present. So unlike the others, Vienna, and yet there was kindness in her eyes that was familiar. He hummed in return before walking to the forest tree line. He stopped and looked over the land in front of him. His eyes wandered from the pond at the front of the estate to the gazebo created by a circle of trees upon a terrain platform. I realized I had much to change. I approached the Prime Minister after I failed in my quest to apologize. Raven looked into the confused fawn eyes. And the little wrinkles that formed her brow. Looked into the confused fawn eyes, and the event taught me that I had much to improve on if I ever wished to follow my parents' example. He swallowed, and he felt his cheeks heat as he fought the urge to squirm under her undivided attention. And Sir Rourke believed he resisted the urge. Sir Rourke believed me ready, he brought me before your father. For all Duke Thorn's gentleness, when he was before his daughter, he was an intimidating presence. The Duke was taller, and in his eyes was a piercing agelessness that only the wisest of Terra possessed. Even with all the preparation and tutelage from Sir Rourke, Raven had still felt a shiver of dread run down his spine whenever he approached the Duke. In the present, a wry smile came across Raven's lips. Duke Thorn would allow me to meet with you as long as I followed his guidelines. Raven looked to the girl who had remained silent through all his contemplations. It's all worth it, though, if I can see you again. Vienna broke her silence. Why? He frowned. There is someone I do not wish to become. Raven took a breath. He knew it was a risk. He'd learned quickly, though nothing worthwhile wasn't without its challenges. I wish to become your friend, Lady Vienna Thorn. This time the fear was unmistakable in her gaze. The young girl stepped back. Her hands clutched the hem of her tunic as she stared down at the ground. Raven felt a surge of emotion then. Wanted to simultaneously reach out to her, while at the same time he wished to run away and never come back. His throat felt oddly dry. He cleared it before speaking up. I only wish to start again with you, Lady Vienna, and become acquainted. He let out a breath as he thought of himself. Let out a breath. If he hadn't met her, he wouldn't know what he had to change. He would be eternally grateful just for that alone. Her voice drifted off and her gaze seemed to hover above his head, looking at the blue sky above. I don't know if she sighed and tightened her grip again. I'll be able to be your friend, Your Highness. The formality costs its heart to sink. It made sense, he told himself. From her memory he gained, he knew from valid reasons to be wary of someone who had betrayed a childhood friend. Raven smiled self-deprecatingly. Sir Rourke. Of your mind. I would be honored if you could allow me. Sir, most of your mind. I would be honored if you could allow me on occasion to have the discussions with you. She acquiesced on the basis that the meetings would end whenever she wished. A sigh of relief was barely held back as Raven smiled and thanked her. It was indeed better than nothing at all. It was better than nothing. It would take time for her to trust him. Raven hoped one day she would. Raven hoped she was the only one who could ever truly understand the sense of otherness that seemed to permeate his being. If only he could get her to trust. And so, then maybe wouldn't feel so. I'm not sure about this chapter. I don't know if I should post it. Ugh. Ow, my back. Oh. Ow, I have a spasm. Ow, 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 ow. Sorry. I've done as much as I can without the second one. The next one really needs to be edited, and it's not one where I could just read out loud and edit it. It really needs beta reading, like really bad. The other two, I mean, I was mostly just unsure about grammar and phrasing of things, and I think I fixed that. But 14, as you can see, doesn't even have a title, which is a clue that it needs a lot of work. So yeah. Yeah, it's in need of revision because it needs to be betaed and then looked over and figured out. So that's what's going on with 14. But I've uploaded now 12 and 13. So we'll see how that goes. I think I'm going to go ahead and finish for today. I hope this helps someone, and have a good rest of your day.